Hello. Hi, YouTube friends. How are you doing? How is this evening? Or maybe for your side, is in the morning or is in the afternoon. So, welcome to the stream. So, today's topic, you already know, we are going to talk about the optimal bitrate settings for high quality streaming. So, this is not an easy task because a lot of people actually go through so many type of settings. At the end, they still couldn't get the best quality of stream. It is due to the fact that it relates with your upload speed so much. And the dedicated connection, not to say dedicated, but when you're using your internet for live streaming, you should not use other elements such as streaming online or watch the TV using Netflix and similar things, because these will disrupt some of the data process that going out from your PC. So before that, I just want to see anybody in the comments say hello, hi, if you are here, and let us know whether you have gone into this kind of problems in your real life live stream. So let me check for a second. Meanwhile, I can actually show what we are going to talk about today. So as usual, I prepared a little bit of slides so it gets structured, the show gets structured, and your information is structured. So, okay, let me share that screen. It will be much more easier if we go through that. And then we have some hands-on using OBS. Okay, why do I choose OBS? Because OBS is free and is highly adaptable. Means almost everyone can use it. Because of the free community, you will find a lot of plugins and it can go diverse. So for this show, I'm still using OBS 27, being very stable, and a lot of plugins still supported by OBS 27. Now, okay, let me go into share the screen and we can take it from there. So let me share the screen 1 second. Okay, where did it go? Okay, right. So here we are. I have so many screens open, and this is one of the bigger challenges that I have to face every day, that you don't know which screen to share. This is a very common problem. No matter how I plan, when picking up the screen sharing, it will actually make it confusing because I have two screens and I have tabs open, many tabs open. I have at least 2 tabs open just to monitor YouTube in 2 different channels. So there you go. So I'm going to go into a little bit more detail, but before that, what is the structure of today's show? Today's show structure is basically this. So these are the steps. So for any good live streaming, bitrate matters, but before the bitrate, what will matter is the speed test. So this is where you need to check. I am on live, but I'm still going to check how the speed is right now, right at this moment. So do remember, I have a lot of IoT devices, especially the lights and smart plugs and other machineries connected with my internet. So it might not be the perfect one that we are looking for, but let's see what is my speed at this point. So we are going to check point number 1, speed test. Do this first. So you need to get a depth that what is your upload speed, not download speed. Don't worry about download speed. The only thing when you are streaming matters is your upload speed. So let's take a look at the upload speed. We're going to do a live test and see how it comes out. So I open a new tab. I go to speedtest.net. Very popular. Almost everybody knows it. So, okay. So I'm going to change the server to my Greece. Okay, let's go. So now we're doing the speed test, and let's see what is my download and upload speed. Anybody in here yet? I can say hi. So it seems we have roughly about 864 Mbps upload speed, and okay, it's dropping because I'm streaming as well, so it might have disrupted this testing. So okay, in average we have about 352 Mbps upload. Okay, it is satisfactory. So anything above 5 will be satisfactory. So we will go through it later, but now I'm going to show a live test, like we are going to do it over here. We go to OneStream Live and we will actually log in and start an RTMP stream. So let's get into that. Okay, so when we are using OBS, usually we use this option. You can go to the new stream. You can see on top of the screen. Let me make the screen bigger so everyone can see how it look like. Okay, here we go. So new stream here, and it is actually very self-explanatory that third-party RTMP source. So it actually says over here, use OBS, Zoom, WebEx, etc. and multi-stream via OneStream. So as simple as that. So what we are going to do, we're going to press this. It will bring us to this screen. Now, I have already copied this information and I have covered this in my previous video, that how you're going to do optimize stream through OBS, but this is more about the bitrate settings. So what we are going to do, we are going to do few multitude of tests and see if my internet can handle that or not. Do remember, I do have live stream going on the same connection. So I hope it will not disrupt that process as well. So, but I have 350 over Mbps upload, so I guess I should be okay. But it will also matter on the computer. Later on, we will see the specifications. So hang on for that. So I have copied this information. What I'm going to do, I'm going to share my OBS screen. Okay, let me stop this sharing. And now I'm going to share my OBS. So this is my OBS. I hope this will come up. Right. So this is my OBS. As you can see, I have muted the mic so it doesn't disrupt or create any other problems. So first thing we are going to look at in settings on the right hand corner. Let me just make it full screen. So okay, so this is the settings. I'm going to go here. The first thing I'm going to check, yes, it is set to the OneStream Live options, and my output is set to hardware because I have an NVIDIA graphics card and I have choose to use NVIDIA NV encoder H264 new, and my rate control is currently set at CBR, which is constant bit rate, and 4000 kbps. So 4000 kbps should be good enough to handle 1080p stream. So I have chosen the preset quality over performance. So let's see how this works out, and I have also enabled look ahead. So it creates dynamic big frames. So let's take a look, and my audio is set to 128 kbps. I also have replay buffer, but I am not sure I'm going to start that or not. But I think I have already enabled replay buffer automatically, so I'm just going to turn it off, and audio as it is. Video, I will go in full HD. Full HD FPS is 30 FPS. So let's try this and see how the statistics comes out. So where is the statistics? I'm going to enable the statistics, docs, stats. So here we can see our current stats. I will reset this. So you can see CPU usage, roughly, FPS, average time to render the frame, memory usage 222 MB. So what I will do, I will press start streaming. So this will connect immediately to the OneStream live server. And then I can actually take a look at how it is performing. And then I will try to ramp up the resolution and the frame rate and see how it is impacting. And when I'm going to start streaming, okay, let's see if it is connecting over here. It is. So it is analyzing the incoming stream and start encoding on the fly. So I can actually see how it is going to look like. If you want to have a look, I'm going to share the screen. So let me stop this one and go to screen, window, and there it is. Okay, let's see. So we have this. Let me go full screen. So you can see it is receiving and video signal is good in 4000 kbps range. And when I'm looking at OBS, my CPU usage is 0.2%. FPS is 60. There is no drop frames or skipped frames. Memory usage is 248 MB. Current status is live, and data bitrate is around 4000 kbps, a little bit here and there. So we are at 4000 kbps, but let's take a look at how it is doing. So it is streaming at full HD, and the bitrate is 3.73 in average, and 30 FPS. So I haven't pressed any of these. I can actually start this test channel, and it will then go to the stream, and we will see whether it is making any impact or not. So let's take a look at that one. So I press this. I can actually open this stream in a new window. So this is on an embedded player just for testing. So I hope you can see this is live right now, and you can see that it is a very smooth video and sharp video, and it is still working. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, the live quality is excellent, right? So it is at 4 Mbps marker, and so far there is no issues. It's going on. Now we are going to complicate this. Let me stop the stream first. So when but before that, I'm going to change the screen again so you guys can see what's going on. So here I'm going to share the actual OBS. Right. So here we are, the OBS screen, and you can see the live stats, and there is nothing. Even the CPU usage is nominal. I can tell you why is this, because we are not using CPU for encoding any video to going out. We're using the graphic card. So the graphic card is doing its job. That's perfect, because we don't want our CPU to overload. So right now we can see that it is doing pretty great. So I'm going to press stop streaming, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to bump it up. So okay, let's go to settings and output, and now I'm going to put here 8000 kbps. Means I would literally need 8 Mbps upload speed at minimum. So, but general rule of thumbs, I will always say, if you are streaming at 4000 kbps, your internet upload speed should be a minimum of 7 Mbps. Why the reason I say that? Because then you will have is extra buffer inside that every other thing that is using your internet will be able to go through in that marker. So you will keep a little bit of space so that your stream can have a wiggling area. So let's check with this, and I set the preset to max, completely highest quality possible. Now we are going to press start streaming, and we will notice that what is coming up on the side of the OneStream Live. So I pressed streaming. So CPU usage is very nominal even now. Even with 8000, you can see the bitrate is 8000 range. And it is going, yes, and now it's jumped to 8000 kbps speed. That is exactly what we wanted. So we do not want the CPU usage to spike up, because that will slow down your entire system and it will make choppy videos. So I'm going to stop again and start another bigger level up, and let's see how that works out. So this will be a tough one. So I will stop streaming. Sorry, I forgot to show that the streaming quality was excellent. But anyway, now we are going to go into very difficult one, and I will set these to, I will go to video, choose the preset here to is nearly 40K, and I will go for 60 FPS.
Could you try again?
Come on, Siri.
You come on, just kidding.
Okay, we have an entertainer with us. All right, so we are going to go bonkers with these numbers. So common FPS value I have set to 60 and 4K, and I'm going to press apply. Yes, that screen has resized, but I'm going to press start streaming anyway. What I will do, I will make it, I will set this transform to full screen. Fit to screen. Okay, this is pretty big. Okay, I pressed start streaming. So now we were looking at 8000 kbps bitrate, FPS at 60. My CPU usage is 2.2%. Memory usage is double, nearly double, is 581 MB. There is no drop frames, and I am streaming in a proper speed. So yes, it is going in 60 FPS, and I can see that in 60 FPS, and bitrate is 8 Mbps. So seems to be fine. It seems to be fine because I have a dedicated graphic card, and I have i7 12th generation processor with 32 GB DDR5 RAM, and my motherboard is one of the highest, probably the highest one, is Z690 series motherboard. So it has all those bells and whistles. So that is why even with an older graphic card, my graphic card is 7 years old, but it still works pretty well. You can see here, and I will show you that it is actually performing excellent with 4K resolution. Let me show you. I have to stop this screen sharing and change to another one. So window. Okay, now take a look here, look by yourself. So now let me make this full screen. Right. So now, even now, in 60 FPS, I have excellent quality stream. So I am going to be a little bit more challenging. So the best clarity you can have for 1080p, I will show you later, right? That what settings you need to have for 1080p for the best clarity. So you do not need 1080p and 12,000 kbps or 12 mbps bitrate, because that will be too much and it will not match. So honestly, for 1080p highest quality, you can go 1080p 60 fps, and then you set the bitrate to 8,000 kbps. So usually what I do to keep things steady, I use 4,000 kbps because it's hardly noticeable how much clarity it differs. So I'm going to stop this and we are going to bump this up. So let's take a look at that one. I will stop sharing this. I will go back to the original window. Right. Come on. Right. So I will press stop streaming. Okay. No streaming happening. I will go here, go to video, all fine. I'm going to go to output, max quality, and I will go a little bit more beyond. So I will set it to 12,000 kbps. So 12 mbps bitrate. So that is really fine quality for streaming. So one of the finest quality for streaming. You can bump it up if your system, if your internet connection allows you to do it. So it will give you pristine, clean stream from whatever camera you have. The maximum resolution will go out. So I will press OK and I will press start streaming. So my CPU usage is still 0.2%, around that. Memory usage is 561 MB. FPS is 60, and I do not have any rendering lag or encoding lag. So it is going out as it is. Look at this, is streaming at 12,000 kbps. So let's go back to the stream, OneStream side to measure how it is working out over there. So I will change the screen again. Sorry about this. I have to switch these to show you multiple screen. So I'm going back to the screen, share. So I think the chunk is pretty big now. Yes, it started receiving the signal, and let's see. It should make a jump over here. So it will need a few seconds. Right, you can see it here is 11.55 mbps bitrate. So it is possible, and it should be silky smooth, pristine video if you're looking at it. Okay, I need to open this one more time. So it will take a few seconds before it render. So I also tested full screen. So let's take a look at it. How does it look in full screen? So I can see the silky smooth frame rate even on the stream, and the stream quality, what it says. So it is currently in excellent quality. So these are the logical values that we can put in. But if we really want some pristine, even more clarity in our video, in our live video, we can actually bump this even more higher. So what I will do, I will stop this stream first. So you will be able to see stream stopping. Okay. So no stats over here. I will go and change these, stop this screen sharing and jump back to the OBS window, because I wanted to really show that how it differs. All right, where is it? Okay. So here I'm going to go to settings again in output. This time I really want to be, this is actually not necessary. This is for the sake of doing the test. So what I will do, I will bump this up to 20,000 kbps. So there is 20 mbps bitrate for uploading, for the stream to go out. And now I'm going to press start streaming, and I will wait and see what is happening over here. So my CPU usage is still in a very nominal scale, 0.16 to 0.2, and memory usage is 576 MB. I am live, and my current bitrate is at 20,000 kbps. My FPS is 60. So let's take a look at how is OneStream doing, right? So I have to give it to my connection or the PC that it actually handled it pretty neatly, I would say. And thank you guys, Jason and Tom's Egg Hide. Thank you. Yes, so I'm going to stop this screen and share the statistics, the real-time statistics. So let's take a look at the real-time statistics. You will be surprised. So now look at this. My goodness. So my stream quality at 18.51, and it will jump between that. But I am still at 4K and 60 FPS, and my live quality is excellent. So I will stop this once and start it again. Then I will close this and view the stream. So this is running as max as possible. You do not need to go beyond 20 Mbps. There is no logical reason that you need 20 Mbps bitrate. So I will show you a correct data table. For the testing's sake, we have went through this much of trouble to go until 21 Mbps. You can go even further, but that will not help you. That will not help the quality of the video, because at some point it will hit the plateau and it will not go further than that. So be mindful about that. Now we know this system handled it pretty easily. Because of why? I have a dedicated connection, not dedicated, but I have a direct connection to my PC for my internet, and it gives me roughly about 400 to 500 Mbps upload speed. And for streaming, definitely you will need a minimum of 5 Mbps for a proper streaming. You can go higher, but at some point it will not matter anymore. So we need to know the lower threshold of these and then how to make use of that. So the tables I'm going to show later on are much more data driven. So it will give you a proximity system that in which cases you want. So if you do not have a proper connection, if you are doing it from mobile, set the bitrate to certain elements of certain level. And if you are doing it from a laptop, you do it in a certain way. So let's say you do it in 720p, you do it 30 FPS in 720p. So you can get away with a nominal upload speed, because you never know. You might be in a different place. You might be in a cyber cafe. So the cyber cafe upload speed will not be that high. So they might give you 2 Mbps upload speed. So in that case, your stream should not exceed the 2 Mbps no matter what. So do not set that, because you will not be able to stream properly. Your video will get choppy, and it will create a dissatisfaction from the audience itself. So if you do not believe, I have been streaming all along as 20 Mbps, as we said in the OBS, and the stream quality is excellent. So this is one of the good things that you can find in OneStream Live. When you do RTMP streaming, they will give you a very solid statistics for how your stream is performing. This is a very important stat. If I noticed something that it spiked or it fell down over here, means my internet is having a trouble or it is not consistent. So far it doesn't have those kind of value, means my internet is performing in a solid way. This is why every time you do streaming, you must do the testing, because testing will not solve all your problem, but it will prepare you for the worst to come. So at least you will know that, okay, I need to have a backup microphone. I need to have if my screen doesn't work or my camera doesn't work, I need to have a separate camera. So what if when I'm going live and my camera stopped working? It's electrical instrument, anything can happen. So you need to have a solid backup so you can plug it in instantly and start the stream. So you do not lose your audience at that point. So do the testing. There's no cost involved in testing. It will give you the confidence that what needs to be done when you hit by problem during a live stream. This doesn't happen for the people who actually do the recorded stream, but like myself, I know Jason is here, I know Tom's is here. So this is something, it means you are interacting with live audience. So the clarity of that, the benefit of that is much more than the recorded stream. So I would say if you want to make a tutorial that people need to learn from it, sure, you go ahead and make a recorded stream. It's fine. A lot of people do that. But if you require a constant attention from your audience and you attend to them, then of course you need to do real-time live stream. So whenever you do real-time live stream, if you go back 2 or 3 videos in my playlist, you will notice I hit a very serious problem because I was in the studio and when I was online, on live, this microphone suddenly stopped working because the driver crashed. And at that point of time, I didn't have a recovery system. So what I had to do, I had to look up my secondary microphone, plug it in, and resume my live show. So these are the problems, that day-to-day problems that will come up, and you just have to test it beforehand so you are mentally prepared how to tackle it when it happens in real life. So this is why do not stop testing. So I'm going to stop the streaming from OBS and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. And okay, so you can see the stream is stopping. I can turn this off, close these. I can actually turn this off as well. And where is it? Okay. So here I am. So now I can close OBS or I can just keep it minimized. Yeah, Jason, I can attend to your remarks now. Even though it's a different streaming platform, but the values are the same. So even if you use something else, let's say Streamlabs or Twitch or anything else, the bitrate values will carry the same effect for each of those platforms. So whatever I'm using for OBS, you can replicate it in any other platform that you have. So just keep that in mind. Yes. So I am going to stop the screen sharing. Oh no, I don't have to. Okay, I will just switch it over here. So we went through the speed test for your upload test and OBS settings and hands-on bitrate test with OneStream Live. Now I will show the technical data. So this you should copy, this you should, if you need this information or if you need this slide for the table, I can provide you the link. Just put a comment below. I will share the Google Slides with you. And okay, let's take a look at the data. Now what am I going to do? Okay, bitrate versus video quality. I'm going to enlarge my screen so you guys can see this very clearly. I hope this is clear enough. So bitrate versus video quality. So what did I mean by that? So if your video you are streaming at 1080p, your speed your bitrate should be set to 2500 to 4000 kbps without losing quality. That is the approach I have put in this table. Now, if you look at the Mbps of your upload speed, it says 5. But personally, I would recommend you should at least have 7. This is a safety mark. Yes, technically upload speed 5 Mbps, you will go through it, but you might have frame drops or frame skips because other elements might be using your internet line. So I would rather have 7 Mbps. Out of that 7 Mbps, I will use 5 of them and do the stream at 4000 kbps. So it will be optimal for 1080p to stream at 4000 kbps. Now you can either switch from 30 fps or 60 fps and the video quality will be high. So what is the highest you can go? You can go 4K. So YouTube will support 4K. Facebook will not support 4K. Facebook doesn't even support 1080p properly, especially in Facebook groups. So for 4K, we have done the testing and we have seen that 20 Mbps we are fine. I mean, my PC was fine, my internet was fine, but that is not always the case for everybody. So the recommended value is between 8000 to 12000 kbps bitrate. You can have 60 fps and the quality will be excellent. Means your camera clarity and all your elements, the resolution will be crisp and clean and sharp. So that is the highest you can go. But do you want to do that when you do not have a dedicated graphics card on your laptop? What if your laptop is just running on Core i5 with 8 GB of RAM? So how you are going to handle it? So that will come to the next story. And the next story is also another table, but that it also includes the PC configuration. So I will tell you some secrets when we go to that stage. So in between you can see, so I give you an example. If your laptop, for some reason your laptop is just having the Intel graphic processor and Intel processor i5 and you only have 8 GB RAM. So right at that point of time you have to go live, but you do not have any other option for PC configuration. So what you should do, you should set it to 2 Mbps, set it to 800 to 1200 kbps bitrate so it doesn't put extreme pressure on your CPU. Because why it is going to put the pressure? It doesn't have a dedicated graphic card. So what will happen if your CPU spike, your fans will start spinning and you will notice that when you are clicking something is not moving because your computer freezing in between. So remember, you do not want to go there because that will lead to crash, and crash means you have lost the stream. So no point of going there. What you do, you set your stream at 720 because of your system configuration and set it to 800. Start with 800. Do 2 or 3 tests that if 800, 900, 1100, 1200 is fine or not. If 1200 is fine, go with 1200. Now set first 30 fps. How is it doing? Set to 60 fps. How is it doing? If you notice that frame is dropping or frame is creeping, or on the OneStream side you can see that the live quality is just good or is saying a little bit of jaggery lines in the graph, then you should be careful already. So what you should do, you should bump down the bitrate a little bit lower. So let's say you set it to 1200, now set it to 800 and go up from there slowly. So do multiple testing. There's nothing wrong with that. And the resolution will be low to medium. So it will not be crispy, but not all stream meant to be crispy clean as long the message is passed. But this differs depending on which type of streamer you are. So like we have in the audience, Jason, who is also a coach. So for him, if his stream it is important to have the clarity. Reason being, he might be showing a football practice or certain things that requires the camera clarity to be there. So now in that case he need to have a system that should handle 1080p and above. So I'm going to the next slide to show what are those systems. So this is not written in stone. This is just a base, a framework that I'm giving you that you can work upon. So it just gives you a standard framework. So you can fine tune it according to your needs. So let's go to the next one and let's take a look at how it changes the configuration of the system. Now I am going to remove myself from the screen so it can go full screen. Okay. Now you can see resolution 480p, 720p, 1080p, 1440 and 2160. So 2160 is 4K. Now let's look at 1080p. 1080p, your bitrate is 2500 to 4000 kbps. Your FPS is 30 to 60. Now to handle this without breaking a sweat, you will need a i7, Core i7 or above, 16 GB DDR4 at least, DDR4 RAM, and either NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 or Radeon RX 580. That should be your baseline. Now, if you really want to go to the 4K direction, you will need at least 8000 to 12,000 kbps bitrate, and that is for 60 fps. You want buttery smooth stream. So that will require Intel i9 or above with 32 GB DDR4 RAM or more, and GeForce 3090 or Radeon 6900 XT. So you get the baseline out of this. So now I'm going to tell you a secret. So you see, even though all these things we set a baseline, you can always tweak. And beginning of the show, I already mentioned that I am using a 7-year-old graphic card. So how is it handling these? So my graphic card is GTX. Is it GTX? I can't even remember. GTX 1080. It is at least 7 years old, and even though I have changed my system configuration, I have DDR5 RAM and etc., I haven't changed the graphic card because it has about 10 GB or 12 GB of VRAM. So I just wanted to see how it performs. So on our testing, it actually performed pretty good. So it's not necessarily mean that you will need RTX 2060. You can still buy older graphic cards like this, which will be dirt cheap and still get away with it. And it does pretty good rendering as well, because when I do video editing, when I export using the NVIDIA encoder, and that also does a pretty good job. So all in all, I would say that if you are streaming, the baseline should be you need to have at least one graphic card so it doesn't impact your CPU usage continuously, because that will freeze your screen, that will lead to crash. So in general, I would not recommend using a system that doesn't have any dedicated graphic card. Now, what is the opposite side of the coin? The opposite side of the coin is use lower bitrate and lower resolution. So if you have laptops that doesn't have dedicated graphic card, use 720p and start with 800 kbps bitrate. So you will still have a moderately good looking stream, and your audience will love it because there is no freeze frame, there is no frame dropping, and all those things. So so far these are the things that I wanted to share. If you need this Google slide for your reference purpose, just ask in the comment. I will drop it there. And let me recap this one more time. So if I go back to slide 2, So there are 4 things that you need to be very much aware about. Number 1, do not forget. Number 1 is upload speed. Regardless you have 15 Gbps download speed, if your upload speed is not good, not consistent, it will not help. This is the first thing. Second thing is tweak the OBS settings, or whichever platform you are using, you have to tweak the settings for bitrate and video resolution. So video resolution, bitrate will go hand by hand together with your upload speed. And I did the hands-on testing, and you have seen in real life that it can work pretty well. And at this point of time, I have to tell you, I'm running 17 different programs, 17. They are running on the background, but we still did pretty good. Now I have also shown the bitrate data, the data for, in data tables. So you would have a reference point that which resolution or for which upload speed what you can use, which you can actually tweak it around. So if you know that your upload speed is 3 Mbps, you already know what you can do maximum, right? So this is exactly the same thing. So if you know that you can, if your system is not up to the par, that you only have a laptop without any dedicated graphic card, you know that you can refer to this table that you should use 720 kbps. 720 resolution screen. So these are most of the things. So I hope that this has been a helpful one. I talked a lot, but I wanted to also show that how these things are going. Yeah, thanks Nilesh. No worries. So I also wanted to show all the data and their markers. So what I will do, if you leave a comment, and I will drop these slides in the comments, so you can refer to it in the future. You can make a copy or whatever it is you want to do. I am just hoping that this has been a helpful session for all of you guys. And yes, this is not written in stone in the sense that you exactly need with i7 16 GB with NVIDIA RTX 2060. So you can actually modify these configurations, but do remember sometimes they might work, sometimes they might not work out. So rather than spending the lower money which can go into waste, you can take this as a framework that okay, so I should go for at least i7 plus capacity or higher end of i7 and a good set of DDR RAM dual channel, and then get at least RTX 2060 or Radeon 5700. So whichever. Now the point is you can also further tweak it. Means even if you have i7 with 16 GB, you can modify it to i7 with 32 GB and try to push up your bitrate and see how it works out in 4K. Do you have frame rate drops or not? Do you have frame skip or not? Or whether your CPU is spiking. But most of the cases, if you have a dedicated graphic card, your CPU will not spike. So again, in summary, let me tell you one more time, all the testing that we have done until 20 Mbps speed, 20 Mbps bitrate, my CPU never went above 0.2% usage. So keep that in mind. The moment you move out from graphic card based processing into CPU based processing, which is X264 by default in OBS or similar programs, that will start to spike your CPU because that is CPU based encoding. So keep that in mind. And when possible, do not use CPU based encoding. It really put a lot of pressure on your system, and so many things can go wrong. So I think that is the end of today's stream. I hope this was helpful for those who look for bitrate and how bitrate affect things. It affects a lot. It's like when you watch a movie in a lower resolution like 320p or 480p versus when you watch the same movie in 4K, that much of clarity difference in your stream. So it does differ. But does that mean you have to use 4K stream? It doesn't. It means you just need to know what is your upload speed and what is your computer capacity. So if your computer doesn't come with a good amount of RAM, doesn't have a graphic processor, do not push it. So what will happen is that your system will crash and you will lose the stream. So that is all I wanted to share. And yeah, with that, if you like this stream, please give a thumbs up. If you didn't like, give a thumbs down, which is fine. And I also wanted to say something. Is a very short one, which is every subscription that you do in this channel, it helps me to help you to give more knowledge. So I can gather more knowledge and give it to you. So that is how it is impacting. So every like, every subscription, every comment will help YouTube to bring this video visible to other people. So having said that, have a good night and hopefully I will see you on the next one. You know, every Wednesday I go live at the same time. So if you have time, please join me next week. For now, I will say bye. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining.